You know, I was wondering, just I didn't know if I should do this or not because I don't know if I'm the guy who should be the one talking about her. You see, the thing about me, Marcia Wallace, I only know her from one real source, Edna Krabappel from The Simpsons. However, I am a major Simpsons fan. I love The Simpsons, old episodes and new. I love just about every character in The Simpsons, and her character is one of my favorites. So I think maybe me talking about how some of my favorite moments of Edna Krabappel and how she impacted me, I think that's what I will talk about. Now, Marcia Wallace died on October 25th of 2013. She died at age 70 due to either complications from pneumonia or breast cancer, or maybe a bit of both. It's not exactly very clear at the moment, and I'm pretty sure there'll be more information after this video is up. My point, pretty much my condolences to her surviving family. Though I will give her this. She's a badass because she was diagnosed with breast cancer in 1985. So, yeah. That's 27 years. So, no, 28. Wow, I'm bad at math. So I will give her that, and you wouldn't know with her performance as Edna Krabappel. I mean, you would never know she had cancer. So Edna Krabappel, teacher, single, briefly married to Ned Flanders. She was one of my favorite characters. I'd say top 5 favorite characters outside of the family. I loved her as a character growing up. I was around 12 or 13 years old when I started to realize that teachers were people too. They want. A funny story. I used to think that teachers lived in the closet, like robots or something. That's what I used to think when I was a kid. So, yeah. But it was the episode, so Bart the Lover of the 3rd season. I watched a DVD box set, for my brother. When I started to realize that teachers are people too. They had their own stories, their own wants, desires, and emotions. I guess you could say The Simpsons sort of molded the way I thought about, schooling, education, and teachers. Well, more or less. In case you're wondering what the episode's about, it's about Bart who, after getting detention, decides to get back at Edna by answering an ad that she put in the paper, looking for some love. Because, she's depressed and lonely. And, groundskeeper Willie, not a good choice. The coach, glug, 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 as Edna put. And Skinner, well, you know about him and his mother. And if you don't, well, you ever see Psycho and Norman Bates? Just sort of imagine that, except Skinner isn't a psycho. But the point is that, Bart answers the ad, gets her to go on a date. However, no one shows up for her. So obviously, that really depresses her. It's at this point Bart, instead of, running off to laugh about it, he actually realizes he made a big mistake. And, helps Edna feel a lot better about herself by, having Woodrow, the character, let her off nicely. And, in a way that she feels better to herself. Better self. So, yeah. It actually is rather touching, and one of my favorite episodes. Not like top 10, more like top 20, like maybe number 17, but it's still up there, especially with the amount of episodes there are. I honestly, when it comes to Edna, I love her personality. I love her design. Yes, she is a bit sexy. I will admit it. That she's definitely a pretty hot character. Hell, if you actually look in the, drawing guides for like The Simpsons, the creators actually said if you want to draw her sexy, you can. So they know. And you know what's one of my favorite moments in The Simpsons is when Ned and Edna got married. I always liked Ned as well as a character. Even as a practicing atheist, I like him and how he is portrayed. He's not an over the top Christian outside of his overly niceness. He actually comes off as very friendly, very nice, someone you would want as a neighbor. Granted, I might find it a bit grating to have him talk about, the Bible and Christianity and all that, and have him trying to convert me, usually with milk and cookies. He's on the table and say, "Oh, hey, come on in for milk and cookies, and while you're at it, can I talk to you about the Bible?" I'm pretty sure that's how it would be. But that's why I liked him. It was the good part of being a Christian. And after the death of Maud, which also another one of my favorite episodes, although I wish that Maud didn't die because of Homer. Yeah. It was always sad to see, Ned having to be a single parent. And then with Edna Krabappel marrying him, it was actually nice as character development to have, Rod and Todd being raised by a mother who wasn't like Ned. Who actually, told them to, grow up and make their own choices and make mistakes. I actually rather, like that. It's one of the more touching aspects of, this relationship. And it's actually going to be rather sad to see how they're going to deal with the episodes when they actually have to retire her. Also, who's going to teach Bart? It's been pretty much a given that Edna Krabappel is like one of the few people who actually give Bart a chance. So, I don't know how they're going to do it. They said they're going to retire the character. They're not. She is irreplaceable. So, yeah. My condolences go out to, Marcia Wallace's character. My condolences go out to Ned and his family. And pretty much, The Simpsons has lost a few laughs. Thanks to a definitely priceless. So this is an irreplaceable character. I'm Bren Tenkage. I'll see you later.